Hello and welcome. There's so much going on in the world right now that it feels a little weird to just release another handpan video as if it was business as usual. Which of course it is not. My thoughts are with my friends in Italy who go through a very difficult time right now. And it looks like other countries, including Germany, where I am located, might experience a similar situation in the near future. So there's a lot of stuff to think about. But with all that's going on, it also seems important to keep the beautiful things in our lives alive. And being home playing handpan seems like a very good option these days. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you can stay safe and healthy, and let's keep playing music together. 2 weeks ago, I showed you guys my top 5 odd-metre rhythms, and I promised to break some of them down. And that's what we will start today. This video is the first of a mini-series on playing in 7. The different 7s are the most accessible group of odd-metre rhythms, and we will look at various options how we can play them on the handpan. The concepts that we will use today, going from the basic pattern to different musical sequences, can be applied to other rhythms as well. And I really would like you to not only look at the exact sequences I play and copy them, but to also think about how do we get there and how do they relate to the basic groove. So you can use the same ideas in your own music creation as well. There are 3 options to divide a 7/8 rhythm: 3/4, 4/3 and 2/3/2. Today we will look at 3/4. Clapping and speaking, it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or when we use the Indian syllables, takite, take, dimi, takite, take, dimi. I recommend to practice the Indian syllables. Speaking like that becomes second nature after a while, and it's really convenient. So let's practice the pattern together for a while. Takite, take, dimi, takite, take, dimi, takite, take, dimi, takite, take, dimi, takite, take, take, dimi, takite, 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 take, dimi. You can take this practice with you throughout your day and have little sessions whenever you find a moment. Maybe you're stuck in traffic or in the subway or waiting for your tea water to boil. When in public, you can do this very subtly, just tapping a finger and vocalizing in your mind. That way you will get less curious looks from the people around you. Getting back to this pattern again and again and keeping it active in your mind is a very effective way to learn and get used to the new rhythm. My good friend Nadishana calls this living in 7/8. And I think that's a very good way to put it. So let's live in 7/8 for a while. On the instrument, you can interpret this pattern in many different ways. First, we will stay very close to the accent pattern, only adding a few transition notes. Okay, let's start with the basic accent pattern on the instrument. We will play 1 low and 2 high accents, and we play those accents with the right hand and the ghost notes in between with the left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Takite, take, dimi, takite, take, dimi. Let's go again, a little faster. Okay, the next step, and you can do this with any kind of groove or pattern you want to get comfortable with. We substitute some of the accents with melody notes. This is not going to be a musical masterpiece. The purpose of the sequence is to get comfortable with the pattern while moving around on the instrument. Here are the melody notes. 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 7, and 4, 6. Because we play all the melodies with the right hand, even the ones on the left side of the instrument, we have to create space for it and move the left hand over to the side and play the ghost notes here. Now let's add some transition notes between those main accents, which we will play with the left hand. These few extra notes have quite a big impact, and suddenly our little sequence sounds more like a piece of music than an exercise. Let's have a listen in faster tempo. Okay, that sounds nice and is a good way to get used to the unusual rhythm. Once you are comfortable with those sequences, here's the next step. Now we make it a bit more spicy and add some offbeat stuff. Okay, let's add some additional accents that don't fall onto the 3-2-2 grid that we're working with. We will use left-hand slaps for that. We will place these slaps between the two high right-hand accents on the 5th beat. You will soon realize that as soon as you start playing these slaps, things can get a little confusing. It really changes the feel of the pattern and makes it much less obvious, but also quite interesting. Because this can be tricky, let's go back to the basic groove. Playing the right hand only in the central note area and place the left hand slaps between the two high accents. Okay, once you have the basic pattern down, you can add these slaps to our sequence. As another variation, I will add a little melody towards the end of every second cycle, leading back to the beginning. Cool! I hope these sequences gave you some ideas about what you can do with a groove like this and how you can develop it. If anything is unclear, don't be shy to ask in the comments. Next week we will come back to the 7-3-4. Check out how we can play arpeggios in this feel and create a composition that combines the ideas of this week and next week. Before checking out, I want to thank those of you guys who support me on Patreon. I really appreciate it. Have a good practice and stay safe and healthy.